Okay, so the first step is to make the Sazerac. Because by the second step, you have a Sazerac before you show the people how to make the Sazerac. We're actually gonna go through it. What's going on, gang? I'm Lerone. I'm gonna walk you through a classic cocktail today. It's called a Sazerac. Anybody that's ever been to New Orleans, you know exactly what I'm talking about. First American classic cocktail ever. And it's gonna be to highlight this beautiful product, this Doom's Rye Whiskey. It's gonna be 3-year-old whiskey, 100 proof. So of course it's got a little bit of a bite. However, finish is extremely smooth. The vanilla on the finish is great, and it's a very long finish for such a young whiskey. So we're gonna make this cocktail with it just because we don't want to take anything away from the actual spirit. We want the spirit to shine. We want to be able to accent the flavors that are already naturally there. Okay? So for starters, we are going to take our mixing glass. If you don't have a nice mixing glass like this, one of my prized possessions, we've got just, Harley's bowl, little action here, a little pint glass, right? Okay, cool. So in our mixing glass, we're going to start with a little turbinado sugar. If you got a RoboCoupe sitting around at home or a Vitamix, go ahead and throw it in there to blend it into this nice, beautiful powder. If you don't, you know what? The regular raw sugar will work all the same. And so will just white sugar if that's what you got. It's not a big deal at all. And then next, we're going to take, again, because we're playing with the New Orleans classic, of course, we've got New Orleans bitters, the Peychaud's bitter, first American bitter ever. So we're going to take this guy, we're going to drop it in this nice little dropper here, which is going to come in your kit, and we're going to put that on in the bottom of the glass. Nice. Now, if you so decide, if you want that fun citrus lemon or fun citrus in general, let's put in a little twist of lemon or a twist of orange will work all the same too if you like, but this is not a mandatory step. Okay, we're gonna throw that in there, and now they're seasoning, great. So now, to mix those up, we're gonna take our muddler or use a spoon at home. If you can't muddle, I recommend just trying to get the sugar as fine as you possibly can if you don't have a muddler of any kind, but either way, let's go ahead and mix it on up there. Now, before we add our ice, the pro tip is to add the whiskey. So we're going to throw this in on top, a nice, generous 2-ounce pour. If you're at home and you don't have to drive, go ahead and throw in 3 ounces. Nobody's looking. Nobody's watching what you're drinking. And now, we got all those flavors at the base. We're going to mix those up. Let's get them nice and infused in there before we have to get crazy with it. That's right. Don't get lost in the sauce now. All right. Now, we're going to put in a little bit of ice. If you don't have a nice little Cambro here and some tongs, just crack it right on out of the ice tray. It's going to work exactly the same. Okay? Now with a spoon, or if you got a bar spoon, that's great. If you just have a tablespoon at home, that's fine too. Just give it a nice little stir. Stirring stick, a chopstick works great here. Should have done it with a chopstick. Actually, I can do pretty well with a chopstick. So we're going to stir this up. Beautiful. I just pulled the rocks glass out of the freezer. She is ice cold. Now we're going to give it our proper absinthe rinse. So maybe you've been in a bar where they drop it with a dropper, or they pull the cap off of it, pour it into the glass, and done their whole Mickey Mouse deal that way. Instead, we're going to use a little atomizer to make our lives easier and more consistent. So we're going to spray the inside of the glass here. That's great. We can see those legs. That's exactly what we want. And hopefully we have a little bit of excess absinthe here in the glass. Give it a proper rinse. Run as fast as you can. It's a little bit of a race, and the excess will go ahead and pour on out there. Great. Cocktail's chilled. Glass is ready to rock. Now we're going to strain. And no ice in the glass. This is one of those very few cocktails that's served in a rocks glass, but technically up. Beautiful. And for our garnish, we really want to get that oil in there. So get as close as you can while you're twisting it. Get in there deep. We want to see that white when we're all done with it. Okay, now we're going to just really decorate the inside of the glass there with that oil. Give it a nice twist. And Buen Provecho. Bon appetito. Whatever you want. Cheers. Gang, thanks for watching. So again, the kit that we've got here, we've got a full bottle of Doom's Rye Whiskey. It's going to come with an atomizer filled with some Pernod Absinthe and another dropper filled with some Peychaud's bitters. These will outlast the bottle, but you'll still have them for your home bar, so you might as well stock it. DM me on Instagram at mixedwiththemore to get yours today. How am I starting this one? I don't remember. Action.